How's it going, everyone? Bobby Digital here, bringing you another gameplay video. This time bringing you some more Elder Scrolls Online. This video is going to be mainly some things I wanted to let you guys be aware of. I mean, I've been playing this game for about a month and I'm still learning stuff, and I've learned some pretty cool things. What I'm going to tell you here is some really small things, but you probably want to know now rather than later, after playing through freaking months more of the game without knowing this, because that's probably what happened to me. So first, I'm also going to be bringing you some footage of some pretty hilarious shit too, that when me and my buddies get together, Doomsday Steve in particular, it's pretty hilarious. I mean, this is one of the beginning parts of the game where we found this Oblivion Gate that comes crashing down, this public event that happens and all these enemies come out. Well, we saw one guy playing the flute standing on this little altar here, and we decided to pick up our instruments and play, and then all of a sudden a bunch of other people started coming up and playing their instruments and the drums and the guitar, and it was really funny. But then the next thing that's even funnier is the Oblivion Gate actually comes down. Enemies come flying through, and these motherfuckers are still playing instruments up there. While the shit is hitting the fan, they're still playing the instrument. It was fucking hilarious. And they don't even stop. There's Doomsday up there playing the fucking guitar, and you got all these enemies. But anyway, just listen for a minute. It's hilarious. Oh man, I thought it was crazy. But then also, then we actually beat the gate, and I thought this was really cool. I mean, look at these effects. You destroy the gate, all these things come crashing down, and this happens from time to time. This is a public event, so I thought that was pretty cool. And then this motherfucker's still playing. And you can open these, and they give you these chests, and you get some cool shit out of it. But I mean, look at the graphics in this game. I mean, look at those effects that you just saw. What MMO do you know looks that good? I mean, everybody cracks on the graphics because they're playing The Witcher, but I mean, look at this. Look at this. Look at this environment. I mean, this is an actual place you can visit. This is a dwarven forge you can come to and craft rare weapon sets and armor. And this is a visitable area you can play in the game, not just in the main story, but actually in the world. You can travel here and use this forge. And look at the effects on it. I mean, everybody, you know, says, "Oh, the graphics ain't that great." Da da da. I don't think so, man. I think they're really cool. I mean, look at these effects. This is another part of a dungeon. Look at the effects all on that wall. The lighting effects. You know, what MMO do you know looks like this? Sure, it doesn't match up to a game like The Witcher, but The Witcher also doesn't. It's not an MMO. It's a single-player game. It doesn't have 200-300 people walking around in a map. You know, you have one guy. It's yourself. So there are limitations there. But look at the environments. I mean, what MMO? You play? Go put on Neverwinter. Looks like shit compared to this. Go put on World of Warcraft. Looks like shit compared to this. So whoever says this game has poor graphics, look at it. I think it looks probably almost as good as the original Skyrim. And what better to have a game that's Skyrim with friends? So I don't buy all that shit about the graphics. I think they look pretty good for an MMO. I mean, look at you can see how it casts reflection off my armor just a second ago up on those stairs. Look at how it casts a reflection on those bookshelves, on the pillars and all this stuff. It's phenomenal. But anyway, there's another part where I wanted to show you what's going to the camera. Now, this is something I didn't know, but I used to play the PC version a long time ago, and I knew you could zoom your camera out a lot. And the default camera in this game is kind of close, and the field of view is really close. Even when you go to third person, it's very close. And I was wondering, and I started watching some YouTube videos, and I saw some people with the camera zoomed way the hell out there. Oh, and this is another thing too. When you're good at crafting, you can actually get these perks that get hirelings to mail you free materials every day. So I thought that was pretty cool. It's one of the things to possibly do if you're a crafter. But if you go into the third-person camera, into the first-person camera settings, you can only zoom it out so far. And I mean, I'm showing you right here, it's not that far. So I know a lot of times in dungeons, in other areas, in closed spaces, you don't know that there's people behind you hitting you in the back, and it's kind of annoying because you'll get killed, and you turn around and all of a sudden there's a mob behind you. You have no idea. So I'm like, how the hell do some people have their camera zoomed out so far? But I actually figured this out. If you hold down the D-pad and you push down on the stick or up on the stick, you can actually zoom out or zoom in even further than what the field of view gives you. I mean, look at that. You'll never have a problem seeing anything come behind you now. And that's going to probably come in very handy in some of them dungeons. Because I know it happened to Doomsday a couple times where he got hit in the back by some mobs that he couldn't even see it was there because he was concentrating on the boss. But that shit won't happen now, hopefully. So when I tell you guys, you'll have an appreciation for that. But anyway, I want to go into some other things now. I want to talk to you about some of the crafting things that I found. Now that I'm a master blacksmith, I got my blacksmith up to almost 50 now, and I have a lot of the perks. I can actually craft set piece armor, which is cool in itself. But there's some abilities in these set pieces armor that are phenomenal. Like this set piece that I have right now, it's called the Death Wind armor set. It has a perk that if my health drops below 35, it blasts this wave of energy and knocks back all enemies. You'll see it right here. Watch my health drop. Boom! And everybody just gets knocked back. I mean, look how cool that is. And I can just go whack on them and do whatever I gotta do. Plus, I also want to show you some footage of my Templar. This isn't my main guy, but I just thought I'd show off some gameplay since nobody's really a Templar. He's not really built for a healer, which is ideal for this guy, but he's more of like a knight, and he has some really cool spear abilities. He's got you know, he can throw some spells and shit like that. But I just I don't know. I kind of like him. I do like my Dragon Knight better. My Dragon Knight's my main. So I just wanted to show you guys some of this footage here of him in the that master crafted armor I have. This is another thing too I wanted to show you. If you look at all these zones, you can actually travel to all these zones. If you see this area of Gratwood right here, this is the area I'm in, and I was in there for a good maybe 2 weeks. I didn't know that if I ride to these ends of this map on each side, I can actually travel to the realms on the to the lands on the other side. Like I can, if I keep traveling north, I'll hit that land up there. You know, these other places you know, you have to travel by way of Way Shrine, but you can actually probably get to Cyrodiil and all these other places just by traveling the paths. And I didn't know that. I thought that was really cool. Actually, if you look at this entire world, there's Gratwood, there's Reaper's March. If I travel up north, I could get to Reaper's March. I guarantee it. And this is actually the road that'll actually take me to Malbortar or something like that. There's a land up there where you can get to on this path. I didn't know that. I thought the roads had like a restriction to them, but it's unrestricted. You can go wherever you want. I mean, actually, when you hit veteran rank, when you hit level cap, you go to the veteran ranks, and the entire game turns into veteran content, and you can actually travel to even your enemy's alliance's territory, all three of them, and do their quests and stuff. This is another thing I wanted to show you too. You see this little symbol up here with the crossbones, the skull and crossbones through Group's cave or whatever the fuck it's called? This is a world boss, and you know, I'm pretty new to MMOs, but you know, I know a lot of my friends are as well. But these bosses are actually world bosses where other players can meet you in these areas, in these caves, for instance, and fight these world bosses together. Some of them aren't that hard right now because I'm pretty low level, and I think it scales to your level. But once you hit veteran ranks, all these mobs, all these monsters, all these dungeons, everything changes to veteran rank, elite bosses, better rewards. That's when you can start getting legendary and exotic gear. I mean, look, this is pretty cool. This boss, I met up with this kid here. I don't even know who he was. We just decided to go ahead and fight this boss, and I actually got a really, really good two-handed sword from it. You can't constantly repeat fighting these bosses for the loot. You can't constantly just grind them. There's a loot timer on them, and I don't know if it's a day or what it is, but they don't drop after you get it. Like the first time they drop, you have to wait for the timer, whatnot. But like, I didn't know these things were in this world. Like, you just run to this cave and it's this massive boss, and you got to see the sword I got from it. There's a massive two-handed greatsword, and it was a unique one. It's not like just some generic sword. It was actually a rare, and it was a named sword. So I thought that was pretty cool. Plus, a lot of these dungeons that you complete and you kill these bosses on, you get achievements, and they're not Xbox Live achievements, but they're achievements in Elder Scrolls, and I think those achievements get you skill points. Don't quote me on that. But see, check out the sword, Through Group's Bane. This is an ultra rare sword. But anyway, I just want to show you guys this video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Enjoy the tips. Let's put them to work. Let's get out there and fuck some shit up. Bobby Digital, signing out.